Greetings everybody, it's Emily from Pages and Ink, and this is my last video for the day, and I decided that I wanted to do a video talking about my my 5 least favorite tropes and YA novels. So I managed to pick 5. It took me a second to find the 5th one because some of the tropes I'm okay with as long as they're done correctly, but these are pretty much... They kind of bother me. One of them, not so much, but the rest of them, yes. So the first one, I'm pretty sure almost everybody can agree with, and that is love triangles. There are a couple love triangles that I don't mind, but it's usually because there's not an emphasis on the romance, or it's more of she made a decision and they move on. There's 2 love interests, but she picked one, versus, oh, I don't know which one I like more. You know, that kind of thing. So, that's a trope that I could do without. There have been a couple, actually more than a couple books, where there wasn't a love triangle, and those are some of my favorite books. For example, The Darkest Mind series by Alexandra Bracken. There are 2 male characters, only 1 romantic interest, and romance isn't even a big subplot. It's just there. So, that I prefer over, like, Twilight, where there was Jacob and Edward, and she's like, I can't choose! I love Edward, but Jacob is my best friend! And it's like... Personally, I would pick Jacob, because his personality type is the kind of type that I have an interest in, so... There you go. Moving on. The second trope is insta-love, which I'm sure a lot of people can agree with, because insta-love really bothers me. Once upon a time, I did believe and like the idea of love at first sight, but now that I'm older, I'm a little more realistic, and I do not believe in it anymore. Or at least you can find somebody attractive and like start to get to know them, and I guess you could consider that love at first sight or insta-love, but I honestly feel like you have to get to know the person well before you can be like, oh, I love them. So, insta-love. There's actually been a couple books lately that I've read that I felt very insta-lovey, and it just drove me crazy. My favorite kind of relationship, which I'll talk probably about in the favorite tropes video that I plan on doing in the future, unless it's not considered a trope. But the kind of romance that I like is when it's like enemies to friends, or at least to allies, and then they kind of start to realize, hey, this person's kind of cool. Anyway, 3, the brooding bad boy character. My best example of this character is Jace Wayland Morgenstern Lightwood from the Mortal Instruments series, because he's that brooding bad boy, don't talk to me, my life sucks, I can never be happy, kind of. I mean, that's not entirely how he is, but he's the brooding bad boy that you find in quite a few books, and I'm like, oh my god, stop. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, Jace Wayland is not my favorite character. I prefer Simon, actually, but that's because he's nerdy, and that's the kind of person I like. Or Jem from The Infernal Devices. I used to dislike Will, but as I've gotten older and I've reread the books, I started to actually realize that Will's actually not that bad of a guy. He's not my type, necessarily. I mean, he has a sense of humor, which is part of my type. But I think we just make better friends than a couple. The 4th one is the Mary Sue character, the Miss Pretty Perfect Popular character, which I don't see in many books, but they're in enough books that it does bother me. There's a series that I'm currently reading, which is the Darkest Power series that I just happen to have sitting in front of me, and Chloe is in no means perfect. She makes so many mistakes, and, you know, she's more or less useless power-wise, even though she's probably the most powerful of the group, just based on what she can do versus what she should be able to do. But being a necromancer doesn't exactly mean you're powerful. Like, there's not a whole lot you can do when you're being attacked, is kind of what I'm saying. So I like characters like her who have flaws, or like big flaws. Katniss Everdeen. A lot of people would probably call her the Mary Sue, the Miss Perfect, Miss Pretty, Miss Talented. But Katniss is not the most social person. Like, she doesn't like people. And after the Hunger Games, she also has kind of like a PTSD situation where she's really not into people, and she just kind of wants to be left alone. And, you know, so she, in my book, is not a Mary Sue because she has her flaws, she has her problems. You know, she's not perfect. And I know there are a couple books that is a thing, but that is one that will bother me. Because having a perfect character is not the same thing as having a strong character. And the last trope that I want to talk about is the jealous best friend trope. And I don't know if that can be considered a trope, but to me it is. And I have a couple instances where this is a thing, and it drives me crazy. First example, Grisha Trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. Mal, I can never remember his full name because Russian names always escape me almost all the time. But Mal, her childhood, growing up kind of best friend, or best friend in the army or wherever they met, I don't remember, it's been a while. But he was her best friend, and she was like, he's my best friend, you know, and I like him, but he doesn't like me. He likes pretty girls. And it's just kind of like, you know, there's this one girl he starts talking to, and she's like, he just met her. He doesn't know anything about her. He should like me. And I'm like, oh, dear Jesus. And then later on, he's like, I see you now. And I'm like, oh, go away. I hate characters that feel entitled to a character's love because they've known each other longer. That is not means to be with somebody. You have to have that chemistry. You have to click. You have to work well together. Example 2, Legend Trilogy. Tessa, I believe is her name, or Tess. She is Daniel's, or Day. They didn't like grow up, but they had spent quite a bit of time together, and she had developed feelings for him. And then June comes in, and obviously he likes her, and Tessa's like, you know nothing about her, she could be an enemy, which she isn't wrong, but the whole basis of her worry was her feelings. And I was just like, you're not entitled to somebody's love just because you've been there for them and you know them. You know, that's kind of like, you know, that's the whole friend zone idea, is I've been nice to them so they should love me, but they don't, so I've been friend zoned. And it's like, dude, really? Just stop. There's another instance, I have to think. Gale Hawthorne, Hunger Games. Gale and Katniss were best friends, and Katniss, there is a love triangle there, so Katniss is kind of into Gale. Doesn't end up, I didn't say anything. But he kind of feels entitled to her because they've known each other longer. He knows everything about her, or whatever. So he feels like, why would you choose Peeta when I'm right here? Look at me. He's also a brooding bad boy character that I just am not into. The only time I have ever liked Gale was when I saw the Hunger Games movie, because Liam Hemsworth is attractive, but going through the books and going through the movies and having a crush on Josh Hutcherson forever quickly turned me into a Team Peeta kind of person, even though I hate the whole aspect of teams. It's just kind of weird for me. But I think those are the only instances I can think of where somebody is like, they're the jealous best friend. They're like, you should have feelings for me because I've been there for you and I love you, so you should love me too. It's just, it doesn't work. So I guess it's the friend zone trope, if that's a thing. I don't know. I don't know if this is considered a trope, but it's something that definitely bothers me. Does it bother you? Am I the only person that sees this in books? Because it drives me crazy. And I don't want to see it in books anymore. There's only 3 examples, and I'm already like, no, never again. But yeah, this is a shorter video compared to the last 2 that I've done, the ones I've done recently. But considering it was only 5 tropes and I kind of talked about them briefly, it was kind of a shorter video. Next week I am planning on doing a couple videos. I am definitely doing a top 5 tropes video. There's another video that I wanted to do. I might be doing a P.S. I Like You book talk, but I'm still not sure because it's been a while now since not a while, it's been a couple days since I read it, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know. So, yeah. If there's any other thing that you want to see, as always, let me know, and I will try to work it into my videos. And as always, thank you guys for watching. I love you all so much. It always means so much to me when you take time out of your day to watch my videos. I hope you can agree or relate to things that I say, and hopefully I can start working my humor in, because I have kind of, not a weird sense of humor, but I'm very snarky and sarcastic, and a lot of my humor stems from interacting with somebody, so me just being here is kind of hard for me to get my humor out, but hopefully I make you smile just with my weirdness. So I hope you guys are having a great day. Thank you again so much for watching. If you want to, you can subscribe and like up, but you don't have to, because I'm doing this for you, not for me, you know. But please let me know if there's anything you want to see. I love you guys. Thanks so much, and happy reading.